What does an old Aesop's fable have to do with your money? So many of you may be familiar with the story with the tortoise and the hare, which is basically about an arrogant rabbit who was super fast and a tortoise who got tired of hearing the story. And he challenged the hare to a race. Well, the hare was arrogant and knew that it would win the race. So after they began the race, about halfway through, the hare decided to take a nap. And as he took a nap, the tortoise just kept going. And by the time the hare woke up, it was too late. He saw the tortoise crossing the finish line, and the tortoise won the race. So what does that have to do with your money? Well, in today's current environment, a lot of people come to me and they talk to me. So the other day I had lunch with my buddy, Tony. And Tony shared with me that there was all these opportunities out there where he could make a lot of money really fast. And fast isn't always good. Warren Buffett, probably one of the most famous investors of all time, said when people are greedy, be fearful. And when people are fearful, be greedy. So I'm going to share with you a little lesson about money and how you can make sure your money is safe. So in the market, a lot of people are always looking for a quick return. And with high potential for gain, you also have high potential for loss, right? So risk and reward. Let's go back in time just a little bit. In 2008, if you had $100,000 invested in the market and you utilized a simple strategy of putting your money into the S&P 500, you would have been subjected to a major loss in 2008 of about 56%. So you lose 56% of your 100,000. So let's just round that to 50% for math purposes. So 50% of 100,000 takes you all the way down to 50,000. Well, I ask people all the time, like I said, Tony, if you put that money into this investment that you're talking about, you have all that potential for gain, but again, you have all that potential for loss. So if you lose 50% of your $100,000, how much do you have left? He said, 50,000. I said, that's simple math, right? So if you lose $50,000, how much do you need in return to get you back to your 100,000? He said, well, that's easy, 50%. And I said, no, Tony, that's fuzzy math. If you only get 50% back, then you've already lost 50%. You only had 50,000 to work with, so you're only at 75,000. You haven't even recovered yet with a 50% return. You actually need 100%, Tony, to just regain to where you were before with your $100,000. So let me give you a better example. 2008, market crashes, goes down 56%, but 50% for our purposes. So now you're at $50,000. In 2011, the market finally returned that 50%, so you have 75,000. And then in 2013, it finally returned 100% to make you whole again. So it took 5 years for you to recover because you wanted to make all that money so fast, okay? So it took you 5 years just to become whole again. But if you wrote it out and you stayed in the market from 2008 till today, the market is actually up around 400%. So you've seen significant gains over that time period. But what if you didn't have to participate in the losses, you didn't have to recover from that 50% loss, and all you did was participate in the gains? So there's a very good strategy to do this, and it's called indexing. So with an indexing strategy, you have a floor, you have protections on your money, okay? So when that crash came along in 2008, you wouldn't have lost a dime, okay? Now, and you would have been able to participate in the gains. Now, would you have been able to take advantage of all the gains with a lot of these indexing strategies? Probably not, because there's usually a cap. So let's use a historical time just to show you an illustration of how indexing works and where it would be beneficial. So from 2000 to 2012, they call this the lost decade. Okay, so the market was pretty flat during that time. You had losses, you had gains. So if you put $100,000 in the market in 2000, at the end of 2012, you would have about $108,000. So an 8,000 gain, not too bad. But what if we applied this indexing strategy to your investment, where you didn't lose any money during the losses, but you gained up to a cap of 15%? If you would have utilized this strategy alone, that same $100,000 investment in 2000, in 2012, you would have over $180,000 because you didn't participate in the losses. So remember, in these current times, our current environment where people are looking to get rich quick, that may not always be the best strategy. Sometimes just being patient, being the tortoise, and being consistent with your savings and your money will get you much further ahead in the future. So thank you, and remember, good money decisions just make sense.